talking with a southern accent. It sounds so funny. When I used to live in Atlanta and Memphis, man, did I have a southern accent. I'm one of those people that when I hear someone say an accent, it doesn't matter where I am in the world, I pick it up and I adapt to that new accent. All right, let me just share it out quick, and then we will get rocking and rolling with today. Having a bad hair day, so put my hat on to tame it a bit. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Are you ready for a wild and crazy ride in the market? This market is volatile. It's amazing for profits. And this afternoon, it's only going to get crazier because we do have FOMC today. And we will be seeing that FOMC will likely affect the market as it usually does. Many times the morning can be sort of boring with FOMC meetings because they look to get their position on. Whoops. Hey, Bad Scientist. Hey, Bene. Welcome. So with the FOMC, we usually tend to see that in the mornings, it tends to be a little bit more quiet and sideways price action, just getting the chart set up over here on the right. And then we tend to have that bigger move later in the day. Sometimes it's a 1, 2, 3 move. Sometimes it can just be a rocket ship up or a elevator down. We will see, if we have Janet Yellen coming out and saying, hey, we are going to, oh my goodness, I got to put some hair there. It disappears. We're going to potentially raise interest rates, then that could cause some fear in the market. People might want to take some money out. All the talk of tax increases for capital gains. Are people going to leave their money in and just say, I'm not going to lock these profits in because of the potential capital gains? We're also going to talk about Ripple today, Gamestop, Tesla. Did you know that Tesla was in the autopilot mode and it just hit a police car in Michigan? That's no bueno, right? Is that good for Tesla? I don't think so. All right, so our SPY, right? I drew this trend line over, let's see, from the 4th of March. So over the past 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks of trading, we went parabolic on the SPY. What is that? A short squeeze, right? Everybody was getting in. Oh, it's going to be short. It's going to be short. Hey, all the shorts got in. They're getting squeeze. Kind of reminds you of GameStop, right? We will talk about GameStop today. And then we have this island of trading up here, right? 392 is going to be crucial. We already tested that once on Monday. So I would be watching to see if we come back down and we test the 392 level. On my 45-minute chart over here, my bull and bear level, I hit 5 minutes. Bull and bear levels all the way down here at 389. Now, I did put a green line here. This would be my fib level of where they could potentially take it for another drawdown, that royal fib 61%. We might see that we head on down to 383 off of the top up here. Let's check out the cues. Now, I did post out on Twitter. I said, you know what? Hey, check out this crazy volume on SQQ. So we will pull it up. But again, this looks like you guys have heard me talking about this since Sunday, that we had this downward turn, bounce. This is now rejecting the 50 simple moving average, stuck between the 50 and the 20. Are we going to come back down? Maybe come down here, 287. We'll see. Let me pull up the daily, of SQQ over here, the 24-hour chart, and you will see that it's got some crazy volume. In the same time that there was big volume here, there was big volume on the cues. So were they buying? Were they selling? I don't know. But what I notice is when we look back in time, okay, this is April, that this is really high volume since September. When we look at the cues, when do we start to really have the downward turn? We topped off here, and then this is a bit more of a new high that maybe the big guys were selling in and maybe they've been buying. So I'd really watch, hey, if we go above that 1945 on SQQ, I think it could be a bad day for the Qs, that they will no longer be so strong in the tech world, that they will be going into a massive correction if we go above that level. So that's what I'm looking at. That's also the 304 level. So we tested it over here, but of course SQQ is always descending. So I'd watch and see, hey, does this move to the upside? We have hit, let's go back here and do it from this anchored volume. So 1839. I'll readjust that and call it 1839, the volume weighted anchor price. Oh, you're very welcome, Salvatore. Thank you for the photo of the chocolates. I wish they were real so I could eat them. All right, let's look at the Dow Jones. Let's put these back together and let's look at Russell. I know the Bat Scientist likes Russell. It's so funny you guys have competitions too on who's first to get here. All right, so upward trend, upward trend. Hey, we were starting to bounce down. We came back up a new high. Remember that every time that we have a new high, that's an opportunity for the big guys to sell into it. So we did have, I'm looking at the volume down here. Okay, we had bigger volume this day right here. If we break below that, not going to look good. What was our biggest volume day? This day, the 4th of March, right here with we're above it right now. But if we go below 209.50, bear time. Aloha, Kawakawa. All right, Dow Jones surging higher, rocking it to the upside. We had these two boxes. Hey, we broke out up above. Bull on the Dow Jones, right? But we're sort of topping off up here at this trend line, which was a support in the past. And then it was a resistance. Are we going to have that hold as resistance again? On the 45-minute chart, we are not far away. Maybe we're going to see them pop it up to 332 and then drop it back down. That's what we had here, and it came back down just below the 50. And here we tested this trend line, pulled back just below the 50. Are we going to see another pullback below the 50 down to 311? Some wild, crazy stuff probably going to happen. So just be aware, just be prepared. And hi, Fernando, nice to see you. The early bird catches the profit, Bat Scientists. We got to change that, right? All right, XLF. Lots of crazy volume and stuff here. We can get rid of this, but we did top out right here. A little bit higher volume yesterday. So I'd really watch yesterday's candle, 34.50, or if we go below 34. That's what I would really be watching for today. Again, interest rates could, if Yellen hints at interest rates, that could really affect the market today. So keeping all of that on watch. All right, let's look at my list. You guys have any you want to throw up there to check out as well? We'll look at the big majors. Apple. Hey, you guys heard me talking about it. Dead cat bounce, roll over, right? We're seeing that. Microsoft pulling back today as well. A lot of negative news about Pfizer with the drugs being halted. Also, what was the one? AstraZeneca. I think it's something like 14 countries have halted AstraZeneca. Let me see if I can find it right here. I'll search ASEAN vaccine news. Sounds good to me. Let's look. What's going on? Germany, France join the list of countries suspending the COVID-19. This is from Benzinga. Let's see, Denmark, Norway, France, Austria, Spain, Piedmont and Italy. Thailand said to move with the AstraZeneca after suspending its use on Friday, but Indonesia said it would wait for the World Health Organization. So a lot of people are being cautious with that. What's interesting is that when they talk about these vaccines, they say that it's not going to have, like, you can still catch COVID-19, yet they want to implement a vaccine passport. So if you can still get it and you can still transmit it, what's the point of getting the vaccine? To me, that doesn't make sense. This is still an experimental drug and it hasn't gotten the formal FDA approval, only the emergency use FDA approval. And from a report that I saw, that when they had issues, they were doing testing with some animals, they all died. So why on earth are they implementing the passport if you can still get it and still transmit it? Doesn't make sense to me, personally. Mark, I don't think anyone else is having any issues. Hey guys, Mark is asking, anyone having issues logging in, or is it just you? Maybe, let's go here. This is a good one to check out if you guys are ever having issues. Internet issues, Wells Fargo, Roblox, Spotify, PayPal's having issues, Google, AT&T not so much. You'll see YouTube here if there's YouTube issues, but it doesn't look like it's really having any issues. Maybe in Europe. And then the really cool thing is you look right here. I have lots of random facts and knowledge, but this is just for the US. So I don't know what it would be. Oh, check the status. Where's the British flag? Here we go. Maybe it's just you, Mark. Let's see. We'll check and see if it's an issue for user reports indicate no problems at YouTube. Don't know, Mark. Sorry. Doesn't look like it's an issue. Okay. But that's a cool site if there's computer issues to check and see if it's just you or if it's everywhere. Back to Microsoft. So Microsoft is pulling back down. We are bouncing off of that 425. Maybe they took it up here to sell more. I know, Frexy. I know. I got to shoot the CEO an email and see if there's any new updates. Last month he said everything is still good even though they were going through the acquisition. So thank you for reminding me, Frexy, and I will, oh, I don't know, Mark. I'll check it out. I will check it out. Thank you for letting me know. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm on the Ticker Tacker Roundtable today at 3:30. Okay, Amazon, big box of trading range over longer time. We're hitting the 425. We are not going above it. Not looking good. You're getting destroyed here. Yes, in Canada, for sure. For sure. All right. Bank of America is up today. So first one on my potential long list today was Bank of America. And sure enough, it did move. Let's put on a 15-minute right here. This has gone parabolic, right? You guys hear me say that these parabolic moves are very hard to sustain. And we do have earnings coming up. This is the first day that it's really been below the trend line, actually yesterday. So it came down, tested it, came back, tested it today. If we close below 37.40, maybe we're really going to wind down on the banks after having this crazy run up from 34. A nice 10% increase, and then maybe they're going to bring it back down to that 50, which would bring it right to this level again. Bud today, Anheuser-Busch, nice move breaking out up above 63 today to the upside. You can see we are hitting that moving average, tested it here, pulled back, and second test. Are we going to break up above and continue up to $65? Do you think people are drinking during this pandemic? I do. I think for sure people are probably drinking and probably increasing some sales. And what about JP Morgan and Wells Fargo holding people's deposits of the, hi Fausto, welcome, haven't seen you in a while, you're having some beers, but barely drink them. Wells Fargo was holding people's, not stimulus money, but the Vaccine Recovery Act money they weren't giving it to them until Wednesday. Why were the banks holding money, right? Why were they holding it hostage? Does that make sense? Do you think that they could use that money in the stock market and then they could run things up and then sell it off today and then put that deposit into people's accounts? Kind of interesting. Salvatore, I like wine too. I like amaretto. I haven't checked Tesla. Thank you for the reminder. You know what? I have it down here. That's why. So CrowdStrike today had the potential to really surge, but we dropped right at open and then had a bounce, and now it's continuing back down to the downside. Yeah, we'll look at it, Ben. That one's typically always going down because the market is always heading to the upside. So Rocket today, a nice big drop. Look at that, $24.91, 80-cent drop, and then slow recovery to the upside. Would look to see, we have an ascending triangle. Are we going to break down from this and continue and have another leg down? We were bouncing off of the 21 and the 20 simple moving average today, but we did break this wedge. Today is the first day of breaking the wedge, and it's the first day of really having that crossover on the faster moving averages to give it that short indication. All right, Wells Fargo as well, another one that was on the list for a potential long today. It did have a nice wick to the upside. However, you can see that $40 mark has been resistance. This was test 1, 2, 3, and it has rejected it. Wells Fargo is not quite as parabolic, but still fairly parabolic. And it looks a bit stronger than Bank of America. Bank of America, why is this not, there we go. Let's do this. Right? I would look for this to pull back down to 38. Hey, Salt Life, welcome, welcome. 38.70, or really right here, that 38.80 level. If it bounces from there, awesome. If not, it could potentially break down. Also wanted to let you guys know, if you guys can hit that like button, it helps the YouTube algorithm to share the video more to help other people. No cost, just a thumbs up. All right, the plug. So plug has been heading down, dead cat bounce, extended away, did have a bit of a retracement back up to the moving averages right here, and then a bit of a sell-off. So we bounced right off of that support level, all the way up, broke up. Now it's that secondary test from below on the way up. For plug, are the sellers going to come back in and bring it back down? Nope, looks like they are not there as of right now. Maybe it's going to be 36.60 that will be that resistance right there instead of 36.50 for today, and that they will be selling off of that 36.60 level. NEO as well. So NEO, the XPEV, NEO, Tesla, all the electric car manufacturers are being heavily hit, which is kind of weird, right? You would think that with oil increasing, that more people would be buying electric vehicles, yet it's doing the exact opposite, right? Lockheed Martin, nice job, Salt Life. And now this is doing that rollover, right? This is the first day. Today we might see that we get a short indication, and it will potentially end up red on the day, dropping down even further, maybe down below that 41.50 level for a bigger move to the downside and complete this down. PLTR has found resistance on that 21 EMA and pulled back yet again. Tesla. So here we go. Who is asking about Tesla? Frexy. So here we go. Much like you saw PLTR, Apple, Amazon, Rocket didn't do it, but Tiger yesterday. So we have these that are all pulling back, bouncing, and dropping down below. So in the EV sector, would it not just be funds reallocating portfolios? You know what, MTETs? It could be that they knew that Biden was coming in, they ran it up, they took their profits, and then all of a sudden, remember that Nancy Pelosi supposedly bought 500 calls. I don't know if they were bought or sold, right? Maybe she sold the calls and she wanted to take the premium. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the statements on that stuff. But this did have a crazy run up and was primed for a bit of a bounce, pulling back to the downside. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to move this volume weighted anchor price. And so now we're bouncing off of that lower bound right there, that volume weighted anchor price from the low back here, 8th of March. So are we going to break out of this downward trend, or is this going to end up continuing back down and being a bigger wave to the downside? There's a lot of things that might be coming that these stocks could just sort of plummet away. Let's check out Drive and iDrive. Those are two as well that are in the electric car sector. Let me go over here. Come on, auto adjust. There we go. So this same thing, now you guys see this? This has this whole area right here. So this could be a disbursement area right here. The highest day was right here. At a low, the bottom of the candle, let me move this. We opened at $27 and we're hanging around there again, but volume is dropping off up here. So do you think it's a good thing to sell Tesla and stay on the sideline for now? You know what, Frexy, I got out when it was about 800 and I am looking for it at a discount. Yeah. What day? I'm not sure the exact day, Ben, but I think 440 to 480 is going to be coming for Tesla. Where are we right now? We're at 670. So I think 440, 480. I think we could come down in this area, back down to this green trend line. Maybe all the way back down here to 438. But we could see it happen, right? Comes down, up. Now, here's something else that I want to talk a bit more about crypto too, because crypto is becoming so hot that, remember that Elon did buy Tesla, not buy Tesla. Elon bought a lot of Bitcoin. And this has been trading fairly similar to a Bitcoin chart. So let's go over here. Let's make this Bitcoin and make this 24 hours. And when we look at it, recently, you see it, we have this downward turn. It's been the same. It had the upward run, downward turn, downward turn. I'm seeing that they're trading very similar, even though it is not a crypto, only a crypto related stock. I'm seeing that it is influencing Tesla overall. And you guys know as well that I am big into looking at Ripple. I believe I have the articles down below. Let me see if I have them in the description. Yeah, so I do right below. There's a really easy how-to if you want to get into crypto. The video is right there. And then two of the articles that I really found influential. There's so many articles out there, especially more lately, about Ripple. And I'll pull up the the Ripple chart. So we've got this big wedge overall, and we just broke a downward trend. And check out the volume that came in when we broke that downward trend. What's really awesome is if you go and you use XRP with the $ and whales, that you will see, hey, $2.2 million, $3.9 million, $4 million, $1.5 million, another $1.5 million, $1.5 million, $1.4 million, 1.5 million, 1.4 million, 1.5. There's big positions going on and getting into this. There was even, let's see if I do XRP block. There was a $92 million trade yesterday. I totally lost the live stream, guys. Oh, there we go. Hey, Asif. Do you only day trade or do you hold long-term investments? Both, Frexy. I do both. So if you also wanted to trade Ripple in the US, I have heard that Uphold and BitTrue are the two that are allowing you to trade it. So let's see if I can find those super crazy 580. There was one that it just blew me away because it was 92 million. All right, I don't see it right here. Super bullish buy sell. All right, guys, sorry, I'll have to find it later and I can post the link down below. But looking at it, there's so many. Oh yeah, Asif, yeah, if anybody's interested in that, you can email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. Michael Saylor with a MicroStrategy appears to be looking like a Bitcoin chart also. Okay. What's the ticker, Michael? We can look at it for sure. So this one, hey, we have a nice little W right here as well. Down, up, down, up. Remember when I called it out on Bitwise? So this depth is 16%, 0.067. Here, I'll do it this way. It's easier. So if I go down, 0.067, 13.94, 0.067. Hey, look, it hasn't gotten there just yet, but 54 would be the target from here. Nice 13%. But really, if we break out of 64 cents, then this could really catapult back up to former high levels that we had a while back, up to 80. And then it's really all about adoption. Yeah, there was a 92 million block trade on Ripple. And it's really that volume that I'm paying attention to. The fact that we had this big volume yesterday and what looks like a cup and handle. This over here, not so much. But if we look at it on the weekly chart, adjust it this way, we have this wedge that we're in, right? So this is roughly 11 cents to 71 cents, so 60 cents. So I would anticipate $1.20 if we break out up above 64 cents. That would be my initial stop point. But if this were to be adopted as a digital bridge currency, why on earth has it had so much interest since, what is this, November of last year? All of a sudden it just took off, right? And volume has been coming into it like never, ever before. There has to be something going on, in my opinion. And when we break out above that level, 78, where all the volume has gotten in, this could potentially go parabolic, just like Bitcoin. And it might be a scenario where we will see this, jump from 47 cents to like $10 if it goes into adoption process, if banks around the world start buying this as a bridge currency, if we have corporations that want to start paying people in Ripple, all sorts of things, right? If this becomes a digital currency in Asia, it is already being adopted and being used to transfer money between countries for banks. So it seems like it's only really an issue in the US with the SEC if they want to determine that it's a currency or a security. However, people are using it as a currency already. It's already being adopted as one. So I think that whole lawsuit's frivolous in my opinion, but that's just me. Okay, let's go back to the list over here. And you want to check out Oxy. Did I forget anything today? I forgot Riot. Let's look at Riot. So Riot is trading much like Bitcoin as well and pulling back today, looking to see, we did have a nice retracement back up to 58.86, bounced up 58.72. Is this going to continue the downward trend, or are we going to surge up from here? Volume is dropping, so keep that on watch. But I like Riot because it does have a lower float than Mara. All right, let's look at Oxy. So Oxy in the petroleum sector, we did have better numbers today. And remember, 2 o'clock FOMC projections. Let's see if there's any hints so far. Nothing. Fed likely to forecast biggest economic boom in a generation 33 minutes ago. Fed must walk a fine line Wednesday. DXY indecisive. It's all indecisive. And really the big guys are laying their positions right now to trade it after the announcement. So right now, hey, they brought it down $1.69. Is it going to be that they surge it up to $3.99 and then crash the market? We'll see. We'll see. So Oxy, we had better than expected oil numbers. It's first week that it's been in the positive for 3 weeks. Yet, even when it was in the negative, when there was a surplus, all of the oil companies miraculously went up. Does that make any logical sense? No. The market is illogical, and trade the chart, not the news. So, you might think, hey, this looks amazing, right? They have finally finally, they are going to be positive. Well, over the past 3 weeks, didn't matter that there was a surplus, did it? Still went up. So I would watch and see, hey, we have a bit of a double top. We're setting lower highs. Do we break down below this 21 EMA at $28? People might be thinking, I'm going to buy it on this bounce, and then they pull it back down, roughly back down here to 21. Let's check out KHC. So KHC, Heinz Craft, nice breakout right here. Nice run up, amazing, amazing move there. I called this one out on Business First AM or Stock Charts. I don't remember which one. $39 right here is pretty strong resistance, but it's a bit of an ascending triangle right here, right? So we have a resistance at 39 and then an ascending triangle. So as long as it can stay here above 38.50, like it to the long side. The volume is a little bit lower today, but it isn't anything substantial. It pulled back on the dividend. That's okay. That's normal. And then higher volume the next day to break it back up above. And we're up above that volume right now. All right, CF. So CF looks like it might be topping off to me and about to roll over. But it did look like that here too. And then it just simply pulled back to the 21 EMA. So I might see, as long as this can hold that 47.50 area, that would be my I'm going to get out of this type scenario. You can see that that's where it comes back to, is that 21, the green dotted line. So I'd watch that, and then if it drops, bye-bye, I'm going to get out and protect my personal capital. Is this oil related as well? Chemicals. No idea what sort of chemicals, but that's what I would be looking at. Cardano ADA will be added to Coinbase this Friday. Nice, MTETs. All right. Any other ones that you guys would like to check out for today? We have Lockheed Martin by Salt Life, EBON as well. So Lockheed Martin, nice. We have a W, right? Right there. So 348, actually an inverted head and shoulders, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder, depth down here, 321. I would say up to 350. So that's 29 points, right? So I'd add 29 from 350, probably looking at 379 if it all continues to the upside right there for you. EBON. So EBON, hey, it looks kind of like this pattern, right? Comes up, extends, pulls back. Comes up, extends, pulls back. Is it going to bounce here? What's the volume doing? Volume dropped off, volume dropped off. Let's look at GameStop today. Have you guys noticed that Wednesdays tend to be running days for GameStop? I've noticed that it does tend to run on Wednesdays. Not sure if that's going to happen today, but we do have a bit of a reversal candlestick pattern right here, right? This, hey, if we can close up above 230 and then we have some volume, we might be surging up higher. I'll put an alert for crossing up over 280. Volume was higher yesterday. We are above all of that volume from yesterday, right? Above all that. Let's look at it on the 24-hour chart. Look at that. We're at the top bound right now. Look at how interesting that is. This is the 9:30 to 4 trading activity as opposed to the full trading day. CCJ, it's a fertilizer company. Okay, cool. iSun, let's check out iSun and see for you, Dea. And we'll look at Lyft. Got into some HST and got rid of your PLTR. Yeah, it wasn't looking good this morning. iSun looked like it gapped up, pulled back, right? Pulled back to the moving averages and bounced. I would look for it to break up and close up above 1550. If it doesn't, I think that run potentially could be done because we had selling pressure come into it. But I could be wrong. But that's where I would look and say, hey, if it's not taking out, we had a bit of resistance today. Maybe give it one more day to see and let it come back down and use the support over here of 1380. Depends on your personal entry, in my opinion. Oh, thank you, Frexy. All right, and CCJ. So CCJ, high volume, doji right here. Depends on where we close today, right? Super high volume, market indecision, lower volume day today. Look at this, another example of that, right? High volume. This volume candle was not in this one though, but the battle of the buyers and the sellers. There was indecision yesterday. Which way are we going to go? Gapped up and pulled back today. If we close back down below, especially the low of yesterday, this could be coming back and correcting back to that 21 EMA right there. All right, guys. So let's check out Lyft for Julio 2 or HST. Is that Hershey's? No, Host. Wasn't Host getting bought out? No, that's Stay. Sorry, Stay was getting bought out. So $18 looks like it's pretty strong resistance. Tested it here and today, and it's not able to go above it. And PLTR, we already went over that. And Lyft. Let's check out Lyft. SOS is barcoding sideways. Yeah, that's just a fun time to sit and watch. So Lyft, let's look back at the bigger picture. Frexy, you know, I am somewhat different because I am American in Canada. So there's only a couple of brokers that I can use, but Interactive Brokers and Thinkorswim and Fidelity and Schwab. All right, so here we go. Had strong resistance here, broke up above it, surged up, more resistance right here, broke up above it, and set a high, pulled back. It seems as if it's slowing, and you can also see that the volume is dropping at the top, right? So be prepared. If it pulls back, hey, look, it comes back to that 21 EMA. Watch it right here, okay? Last time it really bounced was down here at that 425 EMA. UBS, oh, CCL. Yeah, let's check out CCL. CCL, still dancing around that 425. I would be extra cautious to see which determination. If I got long right here, I would watch this level 2780 like a hawk. And if it went below, I would get out for CCL. Because then this is selling right above it and selling up above it. In fact, you had higher volume this day and this day. Then we retraced and bounced. Higher volume this day and this day up above. So, and we're below it. So that would look to be selling volume to me. SOS. Wait, let's go to UBS. And then SOS will be the last one. I'm tired, man. Hey, UBS. Doesn't look like it's doing much of anything right now. Except for the volumes dropping off. Looks like people are losing interest. And this could potentially drop down with a nice close below 1550 right here. But it's not going anywhere really quickly. Not a really interesting stock to me. WSR. All right, WSR came up. Again, you see high volume doji right here. Bearish candlestick. Looks like the bears are starting to take over. Might bring it back down here to 974. Maybe a little bit further down to 960 and then bounce. And last one, SOS. All right, SOS. Let's pull this over here. Let's get rid of this one. This one right here. Transition, save that. All right, so as long as this stays above 650, oh great, 650, I would like this potentially to a long side, but we also at the same time have this. We have an ascending triangle with resistance at 812. So if it's not able to break up above 812, it could be dropping to the downside, plus the volume is dropping a little bit, right? Small cap stocks are in bears control since February. Not really. Well, maybe, but like the Russell is a lot of smaller cap stocks. Excuse me, guys. All right, Salve. Last one. ERF looks like it could be setting up for a breakout above 570, but volume is not there just yet. See, it's dropping as we're coming up. I don't know. 2 o'clock. I've really been sitting by the sidelines, and this chart pattern to me, it's not looking super strong, right? That's why I had that there, the bottom of the 24. So we sold off yesterday. That looks like a top to me, higher volume at the top. We have a nice reversal pattern, right? You guys see it? Classic. As long as we close below 394, I'm feeling like it's going to be a drop down. back at least down here to 388.60, in my opinion. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Have an amazing rest of your day. If you all have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at jane@cjanetrade.com. I will be on the Ticker Talker roundtable today at 3:30 and doing a special crypto segment tomorrow at 3:30 on the Ticker Talker TV channel on YouTube, so check it out. All right. You know what, Frexy, I'm not really a fan of SPACs. I stay away from them. Day trading, okay, I will never hold them long term as they are blank checks and they have 2 years to use that money. What happens if they just go and they file bankruptcy at 1 year and 11 months and they haven't used that money? Where does that put you? That's my thought process on them. So I am on the sidelines for SPACs. I will look at them and day trade them, but not hold them long term. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your day. See you all tomorrow. Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time.